Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today, as we're almost at Valentine's Day, I thought that we would make a very simple Valentine's card that anybody can make, and you don't have to have any special dies, equipment or anything like that. We're going to be using some of the Grassy Grove because I really love these images and I think that they will complement what I'm trying to do with it. But and I've got just a card base, which is a piece of cardstock, whatever size you want, whatever country you are, cut in half, scored in half. Then a piece of, and this is a pink, it happens to be polished pink, but you can use any pink you want, 1/4 of an inch smaller. And then another piece of white, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So that gives us that sort of pinky Valentine's card feel. Okay, so I've got a piece just of copy paper, which is going to just save my work surface. And I've got a piece of cork, because again, whatever you've got, this is just a placemat turned upside down. So I've got the cork, which just gives it a little bit of an extra cushioning, as it were, so you don't need any special tools. Now, the heart, what I have done is I have cut a piece of cardstock, which is exactly the size. Now, this is just out of copy paper, so it's exactly the size of the mat that we're using. So whatever mat size you've got, you cut your piece of copy paper that side. Then you're going to, on the long side, you're just going to fold it in half. Okay, so that means that when you draw your heart, it is going to be exactly the same size one side to the other. Okay, so with this, you can have it whichever side you are, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. You just need a piece of paper and you are going to draw half a heart. So I tend to take it about 1/3 of the way down and start there, and then I'm going to just go up round on the side and bring it down, and I want to bring it down so that it is about the same size on the bottom. So I'm just bringing it down like that, so I've got virtually the same sort of, you know, not too much space one side over the other. Then I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and I'm just going to cut that shape out. Again, it doesn't have to be precise, it doesn't have to be overly accurate. You know that if you cut the shape out this way, you know that it is going to be exactly the same when you open it up one side from the other. Okay, so when I open this up, you've got it exactly the same size as the other, and I've got it as a long sort of elongated heart. So that's the size of that one. This one exactly the same as the paper, it's just a little bit bigger, so you can use whatever you want on there. Okay, so I've got to decide, do I want it that side with that amount of space on, or do I want it that side? Let's do the one that we've cut. That works quite nicely, doesn't it? Okay, so what we need to do is we want to just attach it onto there with a little bit of, just getting a little bit of, this is Stampin' Seal Plus. It can be any form of sort of tape, because you just want it to stick down, but you don't want it to stick down for a long permanently. So what I tend to do is I just do a little bit on there, and then just with my fingers I de-tack it. Okay, so you can do it on your either your fingers or your skin or something, so that it's not overly tacky, so that when you put it down and you peel it up, it'll come off and it's not going to tear your paper, but it's going to be enough to do it. Now we can then just put this down where we want it. So I want the bottom bit as even as I can, and we're just going to take that. We've got the line in the center, so we can then make it as accurate as we want. And then I'm just going to take some blends. Now you can use, if you haven't got any blending brushes, you can use some, just a piece of sponge, kitchen sponge from the kitchen, and use that. You can use daubers, you can use little makeup brushes, whatever you've got. You don't have to use anything in particular. And I am going to use 3 colours for this. So I'm using a pink, which is the polished pink, because that's the same as the background. Coastal Cabana, which is a sort of a turquoisey bright blue. And then a purple, so gorgeous grape at the bottom. But again, choose colours that you want. Because I'm making this Valentine's, I'm going to use things that I know will work well. So I'm just going to take up some ink from here, take it off the side first, and I'm just going to take it from the inside of here, and I'm just going round the outside, so that where this heart is, I'm doing it from the inside of here, but I'm just going round the outside of it because I don't want it overly, I don't want it all the way over everything. So I'm just doing it's going to be a silhouette on here. So I'm taking it from the inside of the heart, so that what I'm doing on the outside, there isn't a huge amount. Okay, so that's with a blending brush. Now I am going to show you with, because I think it might work a little better for this one because of the direction. So I haven't got too much control with this because it's a large surface area. So if I use something like sponge daubers, excuse the rattle, and let's take out, that is my polished pink, I think. Let's, okay, so if I take it with this, and I do it this way, I have a little bit more control. So I'm actually going to use sponge daubers for this because I don't want to have, I want to have a little bit more control over it. So you can see we're just going around the edge part of this and then just down on the side. You want to keep it as even as you can. So if I work it out on here, I need to get it to about there. Okay, so that's the polished pink. Then we're going to have the Coastal Cabana, because I want to have this blue coming through, but I still want to keep it sort of fairly soft. So let's just take this from here, and I am going to blend it just a little bit. So I'm just going to blend it, not a huge amount, but just a little bit in on there, so that we've got the colours fairly, turn it that way so you can see it a little bit easier. So you've got the colours coming through quite nicely. And I'm just taking this up on here. And again, about the same sort of size, distance down. So I'm blending this one in, taking it out on the edge here. And so I've got this running down virtually the same. Doesn't have to be exact, but you want it fairly similar. And then we're going to take the purple. So this is the gorgeous grape. And I just need to get some gorgeous grape dauber out, and then I'm just going to take that again, just a little bit of blending through onto the two colours. A little bit careful at the bottom here because I've got that point and I want to try and keep that point, but it's not completely stuck down, so just being a little bit aware of that. and taking it up like that. Okay, so I think that's going to be fine like that. Then what we need to do is we're going to take the, move those inks out of the way for a minute. We're going to take this off now. So we need to just make sure that we can take it off carefully and it's not going to stick on, which it shouldn't because we detacked it. But just, you know, be aware and just take it off gently on the bit that's tacked, so that it then doesn't come out, which is fine. So we've now got this heart shape in there, and now it's about filling it in. So I'm going to take, there are a couple of things that I wanted to look at, and I'm going to take first of all the friendly hello, because I want some little leaves and things like that in there. So, and I also need to make sure that I haven't thrown away. No, I think I should be all right. Okay, so we're going to take some of these little leaves and things, and we want little or little-ish ones. So anything where you've got some fairly sort of small leaves and things that will work well together. So I'm going to have a little bit of this one. I think it might be a little bit too big. I haven't really decided yet. And then we want some of these little leaves like that. And then I've got, where's the other one, which is, there's a smaller flower somewhere, isn't there? There it is. It just stuck in on there. Okay, I think those are going to be perfect on there. I don't want flowers. I just want the leafy parts, but we're not going to do them in leaf colours. So I'm going to get a smaller block out. So I want that block in on these ones. I'm going to take this one. And we're going to start with and we're doing it in the same colours. So we need to, I'm going to start at the bottom with my gorgeous grape. And what I want to do is, I want to just take one on here like that. And then I'm going to take it so that it's coming in with different generations. So I don't want to have too much of a strong generation on here. So I'm going to stamp this off once, and then I'm just going to take another one just in like that. Okay, that's perfect. So those are the purple ones. Then I want to, let me get my Simply Chamois out so I can clean these up as I go. Okay, so let's put this, I'm just going to put it on here for now. Little block, and I want this one. So this is going to be the blue, so the turquoise part. So let's take my Coastal Cabana, and then I'm going to take some of these ones. Okay, so I'm just taking those down the side as well. And again, use what you've got. So I'm doing first generation, second generation, just one up one side and one on the other, so it comes through. So that's that one. Then I want to find the pink. So, sorry, yes, the pink, which is the polished pink. But again, you know, use what you've got. You don't have to use anything specific. And I'm going to use this little leaf in here now. So we're going to take one that side, one that side, one like that. Do the other on the other side as well. So ink it up, 1, 2. I don't think the third comes out particularly well, but it's not too bad. And we'll have another one, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we've got that coming up, which is quite pretty. And then I might do just a couple of more of those. I'm not too sure. I do like that leaf actually, that works nicely, but I like this little tiny sort of bud part. So I'm going to take some of that. So what you want to try and do is to take it so that it's just running through in different directions. Sorry, I'm going quiet because I'm thinking as I'm sort of turning it round. So you need to have this so that it just flows through. You're keeping the heart shape, but you're doing it in different directions running through, and this one can be quite close together actually, because they are little tiny ones, so I think it works better being slightly closer together. So that gives that sort of heart shape in there. So we've got all of our colours coming through, which I think looks really rather good. Now we need to put, take that off for a minute. Okay, so now we need to put a, I think we'll do the sentiment part last. What I wanted to do was to now take the Grassy Grove, because I want to have some fill-in pieces. Now, this was the, I'm just making sure that this is the, yes it was. Okay, so we've still got the mask part of this, which we're going to use because we want to fill in the inside part of this a little bit. So I'm going to have, I want these trees because I think these trees are absolutely lovely, and I want to do the trees in. So I'm just going to put this mask back in, only so that my trees aren't going to come down the wrong side. And I'm just going to put these straight in on here. And then I'm going to have the trees in. This is Misty Moonlight. Now you could have them in black, you could have them in whatever other colour you want. I just wanted to have them in a darker colour, but not quite as dark as black. So I'm choosing to have it in Misty Moonlight on here. And I'm just going to put them, I might have them coming straight up on here, or do I want them at the side? Let's have them at the side. We'll have them at that side as well. So let's take that out and see. That looks okay. So we've got a heart piece on here. And we then want to put the sentiment, which is going to be, I really love this one, and I'm hoping it's going to be big enough. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it might be a little bit too, sending lots of love. I'm just looking to see that it's not, this, as I say, is a sentiment I really love, sending lots of love today and each day. And that's going to go, yes it will. So I'm doing this in the blue as well. I can take this off now because I want it to come, excuse my head coming in. So that's going to go there, sending lots of love today and each day. Okay, now we're going to put this in on here where make sure we've got it down at the bottom. Okay, and this is going to come up onto here. So I'm just easing it up just a tad to make sure that it's in as much as I can get it in on there. And I'm going to hold it this time. And then I'm just going to take that's my Misty Moonlight. So I'm just going to take this with my sponge dauber and very gently, because we just want the outline to show. So I'm going to put this down in where I want it on. Let's have it so that it goes in on there. I think that's about right. So all I'm doing is taking it from this side and just very gently doing it along here. So all you're going to get is a very, very fine line coming through. You don't want a lot. So I've got to do this really carefully. You could stick this down again, but for time wise, I don't want to stick it down. I just want to just very gently just go round to just give just a little bit of turning it round as I go. So we just have a little bit of the edge of this just coming through. And it's more on the point part here, which, as I say, would probably be a good idea to have it stuck down. But as I say, I'm trying to do it quickly, so we're just taking it round the edge here and doing it fairly gently. You can always add some more in, but we can't take it away. So, and then just in on this side as well. So I'm just making sure that there's just a little bit on here. And what it should do is it should just give a nice little bit of a framework round here without it being over the top. Okay, so if I take that off now, there we go. We've just got this little bit of framework in here. Now, there's not quite as much as I would like, so I'm just going around really carefully just on this little bit here, so it just comes in. But you can see how it's, what it's doing is it's just giving that really nice crisp edge to it, with sending lots of love today and each day. So if I then put this onto the background and then onto our card base, take this off of here for now until I put it back so you can see it more clearly. But you then have this rather nice silhouette coming through. You could put whatever you want inside, but you've got the flowers and things coming up as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and please stay well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.